Number 10. Hungarian Chain Bridge. Here is another bridge for your eyes. This one looks more like a regular old-fashioned bridge. There is no fancy shimmying on this solid old thing. The chain bridge stretches across the river Danube in Budapest, joining Buda and Pest together, which are the city's western and eastern sides. It's adjacent to the Hungarian Academy of Sciences and Gresham Palace on the Pest side, and then to the lower part of the funicular railway that leads to the castle on the Buda side. It was designed by an English engineer and built by a Scottish engineer. The bridge was opened in 1849 and was so highly regarded that it was deemed a marvel of modern engineering. It's also a rather attractive bridge. It has decorative designs cast in iron and is seen in a similar way in Budapest as the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City. Number 9. Velo Weimer Aqueduct Water Bridge, Netherlands. In the Netherlands, water is important stuff, and things take a lot of work to pronounce. The canals and waterways in this very low-sitting country connect the whole place and are an essential piece of the nation's heritage and history. So, it should come as no surprise that, in the case of this bridge, they've prioritized the waterway over the road. This bridge is an aqueduct that carries water over the top of the road and is part of the lake. The whole area is composed of 3 artificial lakes around the island of Flevoland. Level land was formed from reclaimed land, which was drained. They've made this water bridge look rather attractive in the sunshine, haven't they? So now you can enjoy some drone shots of the whole thing, especially of a boat traveling across it, looking picturesque and like something from the Dutch Tourism Board. There you go. What a lot of lovely drone videoing they've done. Number 8. Malau Viaduct, Tarn Valley, France. The Malau Viaduct is the longest cable-stayed bridge in the world. If you care about such things, it spans the Tarn River in southern France at a height of 885 feet above the ground. This engineering marvel was planned for over 20 years by a team of structural engineers and bridge specialists before they were ready to begin construction. The building of this massive bridge started in the fall of 2001 with the construction of 2 supporting towers, each measuring 340 meters, 1,115 feet, high. The rest of the structure was prefabricated in a factory as a single piece. The colossal steel parts were transported to the bridge in Malau and then meticulously put together with exceptional precision. There is no room for error on a bridge of this size. It is believed that an astonishing 2.2 million hours of labor were put into its construction before any vehicle could cross it. Number 7. Bridge Cluster, Switzerland. This bridge is as exciting as it sounds, which is to say, not very. However, if you are passionate about bridges, it may still give you a thrill. Since you are here, I assume bridges are your thing. So here it is. The Sunkberg Bridge is located near the village of Clusters in eastern Switzerland. It was designed by a renowned Swiss engineer named Christian and completed in 1998. Since then, it has served as the Clusters bypass across the Language River. People find the bridge's design attractive due to the curves and towers at the roadway edges, which are positioned low and pointing outward. Many have said it is aesthetically pleasing and sensitive to the surrounding landscape. This design is particularly popular among structural engineers and was consistently ranked at number 5 between 1991 and 2000. What an exciting something that is! Number 6. Bridge Portugal. Well done for sticking around until this point. I hope you're still awake. Here we go with another bridge, this time in Lisbon, Portugal. What a thrill! I'm sure you're chomping at the bit with anticipation to learn about it. The Vasco da Gama Bridge is a massive cable-stayed bridge crossing the Tagus River in Lisbon. It's the second longest European bridge, only beaten by the Crimean Bridge, which spans Russia and Ukraine. This bridge was built to help reduce traffic congestion on the 25 de Abril Bridge in Lisbon and remove the need for traffic between the north and south of the country to travel right through the capital city center. The work on the bridge began in February of 1995, and it was opened up to the public, along with vehicles, on March 29, 1998. It carries 6 lanes with a speed limit of 75 miles per hour. Oh, what a thrill! Number 5. Brooklyn Bridge, New York City, United States, now has one of the more iconic bridges of all time, the Brooklyn Bridge. This bridge has popped up in songs, films, and poetry more than any other. It's been glamorized, immortalized, and given a host of recognition, perhaps beyond any inherent worth that it may have. But who can judge such a thing, especially out of an icon like this one? The bridge's structure was considered a feat of engineering at the time. It was completed in 1883 when it became the very first roadway to directly connect Brooklyn to Manhattan, which was a profoundly important part of the development of this city since Brooklyn then became a part of New York City in 1898. The bridge features 1,595 feet, which made it the longest suspension bridge in the world when it was first constructed. The bridge is a beautiful thing as far as bridges go. It has these Gothic-style towers with those instantly recognizable double arches and crisscrossed cables. Just catching a glimpse of the bridge is a New York experience. Taking a stroll across its length and peeping at Manhattan's iconic skyline is a tourism essential. Number 4. Ponte Vecchio, Florence, Italy. The Ponte Vecchio in Florence, Italy, is one of the most visited tourist destinations in the city. In Italian, Ponte Vecchio means Old Bridge, and that's a basic description of this structure. However, it doesn't quite do it justice. This was the only bridge crossing the river Arno in Florence up until 1218. The bridge that stands in the spot now has been there since 1345, with the original having been washed away during a flood and rebuilt, but that 14th century bridge still stands to this day. There are plenty of small buildings on the Ponte Vecchio, which is one of the things that makes this bridge unusual and cute. There have been shops on the bridge since the 13th century. There used to be all kinds of shops, from butchers to fishmongers to even tanners, but in 1593 a decree was sent out stating that only goldsmiths and jewelers were allowed to keep their shops on the bridge. As well as being the primary way to cross the river and the city of Florence and the location for shops and homes, the bridge was also used by the Medici family, a prosperous and powerful dynasty that ruled the city for generations. Ponte Vecchio would be used to build a corridor for the family to travel between their palaces without having to walk in the dangerous streets below with the common filth because they never had to come in contact with any of the people that they ruled, probably for the best. They wouldn't have wanted to get any of those riff-raff germs all over their posh persons. Number 3. Confederation Bridge, Canada. Joining the two Canadian provinces of New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island, the Confederation Bridge makes travel through this otherwise awkward part of Canada much simpler. The curved bridge is 8 miles long and is the longest one that crosses the ice-covered water in the world. It's long been held in high regard as one of Canada's shining feats of 20th century engineering. Before its construction, there was a janky old ferry service that joined the area together. There were a lot of differences of opinion about the building of the bridge and how it might affect the livelihoods and, indeed, the way of life for the people of Prince Edward Island. In the end, though, the decision to build the bridge was made in the polling booths. It was finally 59.4% of islanders who had voted yes and changed the future of the region forever. Number 2. Magnaburg Water Bridge, Germany. Another aqueduct. But this time we're in Germany and looking at a rather large water bridge, which has a reasonably significant position in central Germany, if you like that. This water bridge began as a concept in 1905, and the work to bring it to fruition continued until the outbreak of the Second World War. It was only completed in 2003. The most unusual, some would say unique, feature of the bridge is that it's a water bridge that crosses water. Oh, deep joy! Located about 60 miles to the west of Berlin, the Magnaburg Water Bridge connects two different canal systems and is an integral part of Germany's and therefore Europe's commercial transportation system. It crosses the span of the Elbe River and removes the need for commercial water transportation to use a system of locks to travel. This is invaluable in terms of time, effort, and therefore money, which, as I'm sure you're aware, is the point of all commercial enterprises. Number 1. Golden Bridge, Hanoi Hills, Vietnam. He's got the whole world in his hands, or at the very least, this bridge is in someone's hands, so that's nice and reassuring. Even if a little bit gimmicky, the Golden Bridge was opened in June of 2018 and is located in the Ba Na Hills Resort near Madang in Vietnam. It's a 150-meter-long footbridge just for pedestrians, which is supposed to connect the gardens of the place with the cable car station to avoid the steep incline. However, the practicalities of the bridge are not what makes it unusual. What makes this bridge stand out from the crowd is the giant pair of hands that hold it in place. These hands are constructed from wire mesh and fiberglass, but they've been designed to appear like stone supporting the structure. The kind of novel approach to bridge building surely deserves a round of applause, so let's give the designers a hand after that thrill fest. I have no idea how I'm going to sleep tonight. How about you? Are all of you wired up now? Which of these bridges strung you out, and did you find any of them all that unbelievable? As always, let me know your thoughts, ideas, and criticisms of how I pronounce things in the comments below.